This morning's guest owns a construction company, but his life is really all about building this community. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Seacoast Medical Center on Highway 9 in Little River. We're focused on the Laura Seacoast Healthcare Foundation, and we're visiting with one of its board members, Rayford Vereen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Vereen, do you mind if I call you Rayford?
Rayford's fine.
It's early on a Wednesday
work.
morning, so it's great to get you in. What about the
is.
Seacoast Medical Center? It is beautiful.
Well, we're excited about it. We're just really thrilled to see the approval for the new 50 beds, and our job to get out and let the community know about it and make them aware of their opportunities to help us get these beds in place. It's exciting.
Took a little while to get to actually get it finally approved. That process began and ended a little longer than it should have.
Too long, unfortunately, but that's over, and we put it behind us.
Exactly.
No hard feelings with anyone. Just move on and be positive now, and let the community know that we are moving ahead to get these 50 beds here for our people.
Those are very good words. I'm glad you said no hard feelings, and it's behind us, because Tim Brown on Monday said this Rayford Vereen, you're going to get him in here on Wednesday, and he was one of the most ardent supporters in making sure we would break through that to log jam and knock this thing home, because the need is here, and Rayford knows it as well as anybody.
Well, everybody did. Everybody helped that had the interest at heart for the good of the community, because after all the growth here, from Popular to Wampee to Brooksville to Longs, and even over into Calabash and Carolina Shores, and the people have a need, and it's real, and we just have to fight for it. And I guess really I came on board because my lifetime here, for one thing, in Overy County, in the North Myrtle Beach community. I just felt that for years, we've needed this. I made the comment that if it started 5 years ago, we were 5 years late, in getting it going, really, and we are. But that's just life, and then we got to deal with it. So we'll move on from there.
Tammy Eves, the executive director of the foundation, mentioned yesterday you've even got a board member, I believe Dennis Jones from Tabor City, recognizing the fact, and that's for the 25% of the patients that come over and cross the state line that Tim Brown spoke about on Monday. That's one of 11 in a small. I'm sure you'll want to expand to even more board members from Brunswick and Columbus.
I hope so. I think people in Tabor City, Loris, that use Loris Hospital, or even at the beach in emergency circumstances, will use Seacoast, or has family down here. So it's all encompassing, Loris and Seacoast, hand in hand. I wouldn't want to be redundant, and I'm not sure what they talked about.
Sure. No, that's fine. A lot of viewers probably missed the other 2 days.
It's important that the people know that it's a not-for-profit organization. It's a for the people organization. I had a worker that I brought over here at Seacoast a couple 3 months ago, and he needed some attention, and we had him back in the back, and the lady, he was trying to get his insurance stuff, his card, and the lady says, "Hold it. Let's get you taken care of. Let's help you right now. We'll get that information later."
Wow.
And that really touched me, and that had a lot to do with where I'm at today, when I saw that it was really real with these people in a not-for-profit hospital. Just like the foundation board, no one's compensated, rightfully so.
Right, sure.
No per diem, no mileage, nothing. We go to the meetings, we do everything that's asked of us as best we can, and that's the way it should be, because we're asking people eventually to give in one form or another. And that's what it's got. That's the way it has to be.
That's a powerful piece, bringing one of your folks in here and seeing him go through those motions and knowing that not if it wasn't him, if it was anyone you brought in, that person would have said the exact same thing to him or her.
Yeah.
Would have said, let's not worry about that now, let's get you treated.
That's right. That's what they said.
That's a powerful story.
And it worked. So, we're just 100% behind this Seacoast venture.
Oh, yeah. And when you say 100%, that highlights that simple aspect again that Tim talked about on Monday. If you made a $100 donation to the Laura Seacoast Healthcare Foundation, it's not $92, not $85, but $100 that are going right into the needs of the foundation because the healthcare system is supporting all of the administrative costs.
And if you gave $1,000 or whatever.
Right.
But, and the people, and that's part of our job as foundation board members, is to let the people know that this is Illinois area. It is tax deductible.
Right.
We are properly organized, and we can help people that are able to give a little bit to help us. We can't do this without the people. We can't. Whether it's people from Calabash, North Myrtle Beach, or Wampee, Poplar, Longs, wherever, we got to have the community behind it and some help from the people that live here to make this a reality.
Speaking about folks who live here, you know this area pretty well, Rayford. You're originally from the area.
My great grandfather was Jeremiah Vereen.
Oh, my.
And he housed George Washington on his tour south right after he was elected president in 1777, not too far from here at the Vereen Plantation.
No, Rayford.
That was Jeremiah Vereen.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, since you mentioned it, you probably know, but Colonel Peter O'Ree, who the county is named after, was a Revolutionary War hero, but his mother was a Vereen.
Is that right? Yeah. So this literally could be Vereen County instead.
Well, probably. Well, that's okay. We'll just
you'll settle for O'Ree.
We'll settle for Colonel Peter O'Ree.
That's true.
But his mother was a Vereen. So yes, the Vereens have been here since the late 1600s, and there's quite a few around still here, and some in Florida. There's some Vereens down in Florida when they landed in Charleston in 1600. Some came up this way, and some went to Florida.
It must be a little
French,
almost
French and Indian,
right? Almost intimidating at times to think that the mother of the patriarch of the county shares your last name.
Direct descendant, yes.
That is that of course almost keeps you forces you to remain at a higher standard. Obviously, you've had service both as an elected official for 10 years on the North Myrtle Beach City Council, as well as in appointed positions. I think I saw 17 years, even 10 years as chairman of the Grand Stream Water Sewer Authority Board, and of course on a number of other boards. We want to talk a little bit about the Horry County Transportation Committee and your commitment there. But golly, that aspect of Peter O'Ree's mother being a Vereen, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
We like it. Well, I love history, but I mean it's a part of Horry County, and we're proud to be a part of the growth and some of the things that's happened here.
So I couldn't ask you if you've got family in the area, because it would keep rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yeah,
and rolling.
Too many.
Yeah. You've got immediate family here in the area.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah. Because my two daughters live up in North Carolina, but my wife's here, and we live over 9th Avenue North in Hillside, and we lived here. She's from Little River, and I was born and raised in Windy Hill, so we just kind of settled at Ocean Drive.
So you
in the middle. But
you
I was
saw,
born here.
As you traveled up and down Highway 9 for year after year after year.
17.
Oh no, I understand there, but even here, heading up to Loris, over the years, to see that and to know this expansion was going to be taking place, did you ever imagine? Could you have even pictured in your mind, A, Seacoast Medical Center, but B, the expansion needs there in Loris?
No, I couldn't really imagine what I see today. I couldn't imagine 20, 30, 40 years ago. Not quite this much. Not really.
In 20, 30, or 40 years from now,
who knows?
Yeah, it's tough. But it's like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
To try to imagine what it could be like in this area. If you don't mind, Ray, for just giving viewers a sense, we've got 15 minutes or so, just an idea of what we talked. I mentioned the Grand Stream Water and Sewer Authority. That is a real important component when we think about this area and the impact it's had. Share with viewers a little bit about what prompted the founding of Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority and how you got on their board.
The real crux of it was the legislators, our House members, John Generette and other House members at that time, saw a great need to improve our water and sewer infrastructure. We had what they call oxidation ponds and different types of treatment facilities that were not operating properly,
right,
creating health problems, particularly in the Socastee area and other areas around Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and the outlying areas that were unincorporated.
Right.
So they envisioned an authority that could go after grant funds from EPA or EDA or whoever to head up an organization to put water and sewer in the ground. Mm-hmm. And that's how it was created with Lambeau Schwartz, myself, Senator Dick Elliott was one of the original members.
Is that right?
Cecil Clarkson, who's deceased now, right, a great member. But we had a lot of good members, and that was the birth of it. And then we had Harry Lockwood, who was a great director, mm-hmm, and then we had Doug Wendell took over when he moved back from Washington as executive director of Grand Strand Water and Sewer. He really went after grant funds.
Oh, I bet he did, and knew how to get them.
State funds,
right?
He knew how to get them.
Sure.
And get this water and sewer in the ground. It's been the backbone of Horry County. It really has. And Fred Richardson's executive director now, sure, doing a great job continuing the good solid growth, right, of Grand Strand Water and Sewer. And then when they tapped Bull Creek for a water supply, I think that was one of the smartest moves.
Are there many other communities, for instance, would Brunswick County or Columbus County, would those counties have a water and sewer authority like we do?
I'm not sure what they have. They do have some type of authorities, right, up there, right, and Little River Water and Sewer Company, sure, you know, does a good job up here. And hopefully one day they'll merge with Grand Strand, right, and make it all better for the people they serve.
Sure.
But they all do a good job. But they're lagging far behind in Brunswick County, as I understand it. Mm-hmm. And Grand Strand Water and Sewer may even extend lines up there because right, they have the professionalism and the expertise to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they can do it.
How long did Doug Wendell serve as just FYI, how long did he serve as the executive director? Was that for a good while?
It's 10 or 15 years.
Is that
served.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he really brought it to life. Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. I knew, of course, of his service with John Generette, and then at some point as Horry County's administrator, maybe even the first.
Yeah, well, actually, I was mayor pro tem when we hired him as city manager in North Myrtle Beach.
Is that right?
Yeah, Mayor Brian Floyd, my dear friend Brian Floyd, he's passed away a few months ago, a year or so ago. Mm-hmm. Called me to City Hall one day to come talk to this guy, and that guy was Doug Wendell. I talked to him about 15 minutes, and as I said, I was mayor pro tem, and I walked in the mayor's office. I said, "You can hire this man." He said, "Are you serious?" Brian Floyd said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I'm serious. He can do the job." And so we hired him, and then later, our dear friends over in Horry County hired him away from us as the first county administrator.
Right. That's right.
And he stayed there until he went up to be AA to John Generette and did a great job for him. And then he left there and created the U.S. Congressional Tourism Caucus, mm-hmm, which represented tourism all across the United States.
Is that right?
He put that together with congressmen, mm-hmm, and it was big. And then the ABA, the American Bus Association, hired Doug Wendell away from the Tourism Caucus, and he was vice president of the ABA and represented the bus trade before Congress for a good while.
Is that right?
And then I put in a call to him one day when I was chairman of the board of Grand Strand Water and Sewer and asked him to come down and talk to us about heading up Grand Strand Water and Sewer. And he said no.
I said, even after you,
Yeah. You know,
said, remember, I was the guy, I was the mayor pro tem back then. Yeah, got you started.
I said, well, listen, Doug, I said, you're going to come down, we're going to pay for your plane ticket. We're going to pay for your place to stay. You're going to eat some seafood, and we're going to play some golf. He said, send me your budget. I said, okay. So then I knew I had him, right, and got him back down here. But that's it in a nutshell.
That's it sounds like you've either introduced him at some nice meetings, knowing that, or he's introduced you, because you sure know the, hearing you speak that. We had him as a guest down at the Grand Dunes one day for a golf tournament that they've been sponsoring for years, for the Make-A-Wish. We'd love to get him back another time. We're going to use you as an intro there. He's a great...
Well, I got his history down pretty good. But prior to coming to North Myrtle Beach, he really did a great job in Anne Arundel County. He was a budget officer up in Maryland, Anne Arundel County. Yeah. And that's where we got him from. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with us, because a lot of folks probably don't think of the significance of Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority. And of course, obviously they helped recognize you and your service in naming the wastewater plant on the north end of the county, the George R. Vereen wastewater treatment plant. I'm sure that was a big honor.
It was. It was very special. The board was very kind to me.
The Horry County Transportation Committee's got a lot going on that people probably may or may not know about either. What's that all about?
Well, a lot of people don't know, and it's okay. We very quietly distribute C-Fund tax dollars. 2.7 cents per gallon of gas that's pumped in Horry County comes back to Horry County through the South Carolina Highway Department. Yes, and we have a good board over there. We meet almost monthly as the requests come in. We meet to take care of their request, and we do a lot of projects with Horry County. We joint venture projects with them and with the South Carolina Highway Department. They have matching programs, and the Horry County Transportation Committee gets involved, and we can take $500,000 and get $1 million worth of resurfacing on a match program.
Wow.
Using the tax dollars and with the support of the board that we have, we do that. But we fund some new paving. We're really involved right now in Water Tower Road and the road going into the back of Barefoot, working in conjunction with the developer, City of North Myrtle Beach, Maryland Hatley. The mayor had contacted me about some funding, and we presented it to the board, got the estimates, did all the homework, and we're helping some $500,000 to get that road paved, which is vital to that community to have a back way out should the bridge ever be a problem. So that road will be paved this year, as I understand it.
That is tremendous.
So we help fund that and things of that nature.
Oh yeah. Well, on
all over Horry County.
Positions like that, appointed positions, markedly different probably than running for office, which you did more than once, maybe even more than twice. Is that right? What was the service for 10 years on the North Myrtle Beach?
I'm not sure if it was 8 or 10 years. I ran 3 or 4 times, and the people were very kind to me. I never lost an election, but at that point in time, having been the governor's appointment to the other position, you couldn't be a dual office holder in South Carolina under home rule. So I had to either not run anymore or resign from the water and sewer. And I felt the water and sewer was very vital to Horry County, and it was. So I had to give up
your service as an elected official. Wow. Boy, Rayford.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about service opportunities, and there's so many, we've got page after page of positions you've served or service you've made. One of the biggest things that comes across on all these pages is your commitment. If you're going to serve on something, you're going to serve. You're not going to serve whenever it's good timing for you. You're going to be there whether it's good timing or not. And that was tremendous to see that in every aspect of almost every page of items about you. What is it about when you accept a position, whether as a volunteer or even as an elected official, that you're going to be there every time, or almost every time?
Well, we talked about it briefly, but in 31 years in the Lions Club, and I enjoyed the Lions Club for 31 years, I did have perfect attendance.
Perfect attendance?
Yeah.
31 years?
Yeah.
How often? They meet, quarterly?
Yeah, we met every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
My Lord.
At that time. And but it was a good way to serve a community, and we had great projects in the North Myrtle Beach area through the Ocean Drive Beach Lions Club, and it was not easy to do sometimes, but we did. I missed one council meeting that I recall in the years that I served on the city council, and I believe in 17 years I missed one water and sewer meeting. Yeah, in 17 years. And I believe thus far in the 12 years I've served as chairman of the Horry County Transportation Committee, I think I missed one meeting.
Wow.
In that 12 years. So
Rayford, so oftentimes folks...
You're going to serve, you ought to serve.
Not to cut you off, but that aspect, so oftentimes folks will find this later in life. They'll learn those lessons from youth and say, well, you know, I'm 50 or 60 now. I'm now going to start doing things right and attend.
Yeah.
If you were in the Lions Club and for 31 years only missed one and they met every 2 weeks, you figured out...
Any.
Oh, you missed none.
Not in the
Had
Lions
perfect
Club.
attendance.
Yeah.
And y'all were meeting every 2 weeks. You had to find out a lot earlier than 31 years ago that this was the right thing to do. I can't even imagine being that young and saying, I'm going to be there every 2 weeks for this if I'm going to be active with this group.
Well, it was almost every 2 weeks, and anybody in Lions Club can tell you, you can do a makeup.
Right.
You have to be there for the makeup.
Right.
And you have to do certain things. It's not easy.
Right.
But I just feel that a commitment is a commitment.
Right.
I think it was Vince Lombardi that said, the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to his commitment to excellence. If you want to excel, you have to make a commitment.
Did this come from a parent? Did this come from a loved one? What mentor shared that? Is this all out of Rayford Vereen? I mean, what?
I don't know.
Were your parents involved?
I don't know.
Somebody, a brother, sister,
good
somebody?
disciplined parents, yeah.
They set the stage for this.
Sure.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Well, you know, obviously we talked about it for some folks who may need to run off to work now or get family off to school. There's a phone number. Did you say it was the 390-8215?
Yes.
Is that the best number?
390-8215.
Okay, and Tammy Eves, who was with us yesterday, the executive director, who just joined in September and has hit the ground running, it sounds like.
Tammy's great. She is really working hard, and she's got a tremendous job to keep us, just to keep her foundation board going, and all of us in the right direction.
Right.
But yet on the same page with what we've got going on. She's doing a great job, and it's going to show the benefits, I'm sure, later.
Oh, yeah. She spoke yesterday about y'all's website, laurashealth.org, and there's a lot of great information on there as well. And it highlights just what you said earlier, that every penny that you donate, whether it's $100, $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000, obviously some folks have really stepped up to the plate. If in less than a year, or right at a year, y'all have already raised north of $1.3 million. But every penny is going right back into some of the needs. And the needs are not just here in Little River. The needs are also in Laura's.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The needs are in both facilities. When we think about the expansion needs as they progress, do you see, let's say 5 years from now, even having more needs here than just the 50 beds y'all are adding here over the next couple of years?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it won't be very long before we'll need 50 more. We've just got to plan ahead and look ahead. Of course, you'll have to, evaluate that when the time comes, whether it's 4 years or 5 years. But you've got to look ahead, and I feel like that it won't be very long before it'll be, 25 more beds, 50 more beds, whatever the community, supply and demand, and it's going to be here. It'll be here.
We were with Tim Brown, your president and CEO, here on Monday morning. He was kind enough to be here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the celebration of his birth. As we sat here and thought through a lot, I asked him after the interview, we got Rayford coming in on Wednesday, what is something he likes to talk about? And he said, well, if he's not wearing a Gamecock tie, he'll have something with Garnet on. And I see he was right. Your love of the Gamecocks go. I think I saw on here you were Gamecock Club Member of the Year. What does it take to become Gamecock Club Member of the Year, Rayford?
I'm not really sure. I was just really involved in some things with some Gamecock people, and one of the things, there was a young lad in the hospital in Charleston, I think it was, and I found out about it and gathered up some real football jerseys and some football game. He was a big Gamecock fan, this young man from Conway, and I made it a point to get this young man some real Gamecock stuff, and did some things of that nature for some young people, and just support the club tremendously, you know, and try to help get new members, and don't miss a game.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, and I had been president of Gamecock Club a few years prior to.
Yeah. Service to whatever club it is, whether it's the Lions Club, the Gamecock Club, or, of course, to the Laura Seacoast Healthcare Foundation. It's not all about games. I mean, this is serious stuff to you.
Well, somebody said, well, I don't think it was me, but somebody said that service to your fellow man is the rent you pay for the space you occupy on this earth, and I believe that.
Those are great words. Good way to wrap. Rayford, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
All right. And I have to say, I don't know if we're finished or not, but we're talking about the service and the years of service and not missing. You have to have the support of your family. My wife and daughters were 100% behind all that I did, and I gave into the community. I had 100% support at home, and you have to have that.
That means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Rayford Vereen, member of the board here at the Laura Seacoast Healthcare Foundation. Coming up next. For successful men and women, so oftentimes it's all about them. He wouldn't even let me go to the close without saying, without a strong wife and supportive daughters, he couldn't have done any of it. We go to the close as I'm coming back here. He's saying we should have gotten into Sea Haven Youth Home. His service for more than a quarter of a century in helping young, countless boys and girls in this community, strengthening the Sea Haven Youth Home. It's not all about Rayford Vereen. It so easily could be. It's about service to groups, service to mankind. You heard it in everything he said. 843-390-8215, 390-8215, or laurashealth.org. Take the time to learn more about the Laura Seacoast Healthcare Foundation. Rayford Vereen.